So together with our friends, the other associations who are here, the presidents who are here, they are members. The minister cannot lead tourism alone. He needs collaboration. He needs people to work with him, his team. And today's summit is a representation of Matta's commitment that while we may agree to disagree on some issues, we are in it together for a singular objective, which is to make tourism successful in Malaysia. The essence of the word itself, trust. Trust in one another, trust in the government, the consumers trust in us. If we build on that trust, if we work together to make sure our industry is bulletproof, or as much as it can be, right? Then we are going to see a new age of prosperity as far as travel agents and tour operators are concerned. How do we do this? Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure as the EXCO to introduce a new industry initiative called Trust. And trust is divided into basically three key areas, right? Matta has invested in and will launch today an AI platform called travelwatch.ai. In short, the platform will utilize and harness the power of artificial intelligence, and together with the help of industry players, friends, the legitimate operators, this system will allow you to make reports, upload videos, files, images, alright? And artificial intelligence will then go and document all of this, flag key items, and even crawl and deep search for additional evidence, alright? And then what we're going to do is, we've had some discussions with our friends at the ministry who are supporting this initiative. We are going to then work together with them to help identify illegal operations, give them the power of our platform so that they can, with less trouble, do their job and do it fantastically, right? What is important about this here is that even though we have a system and it's powerful, it's great, I've tried it, upload the video, you know, it recognizes speech, it can translate languages easily, any language you want to report in, okay? It can identify numbers, faces, signage, alright? We can take links from WeChat screenshots, deep dive, right? And we can link it to our tourism app so that our friends at the ministry are able to work faster and quicker. But at the end of the day, this is only a system. Today, when we launch the Trust program, we are going to ask you as members, we'll provide the training, it is at no cost at all, to learn how to work together with one another. We've had discussions with our friends from the other associations. They will also be coming aboard and lending their resources to this. Cost absolutely nothing. We are going to ask you, members, to start making your reports in earnest, trusting that Matta and the system and its friends are going to be doing their utmost best to make tourism in Malaysia for all the licensed operators much better, right?
All right, that's the visit. That is the last one. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the seminar for sighting officially launched Trust, powered by Matta. Thumbs up. Thumbs up for the tourism industry. Where do you make the mini love? Everybody make the mini love. Alright, mini love.
Hey guys, thanks so much for coming around today. Today is actually a very important day for Matta because as you know, our industry has gone through quite a lot of struggles and challenges in different areas. And Matta, as an association, we decided to try and help, all right, and collaborate together with the government and with the private sector, the other associations as well, to try and do what we can to solve the problem of specifically illegal operators. Right? And part of doing that is by running this new initiative called Trust. And as I said earlier on in my speech, there is no special meaning for the different 5 letters. It really is about kepercayaan, all right? Belief in the industry and trust in the industry. And so, going further into that, we believe at Matta that Malaysian tourism industry players are already very professional, right? But because of the challenges we face today, from illegal operators, from online scams, frauds, individuals, it is almost impossible for one body alone, not just the government, right, to regulate and enforce the laws and the regulations, right? And so Matta is going to help by doing 3 things. Number 1, we came up with a system which we launched today. It's actually called travelwatch.ai. And together with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, we will be running proof of concept tests over the next 3 months. And then number 2, we will also be running other initiatives to build trust in the brand of travel operators, legitimate travel operators and tour agents in Malaysia. So what we want to do basically is say, if you want security when you travel, if you want stability, and good pricing, value for money, knowing that if anything happens to you on your journey, all right, your trusted travel agent will take care of all your needs, right? And last but not least, Trust is also designed to bring awareness, all right, to the public about how to identify operators that are not legitimate and how to look for the warning signs of scam, fraud, and other issues plaguing the industry. So anyway, on my left here is Datuk Hamid Izzat. He is my Vice President for Research and Technology, and together we have been spearheading this project to develop a platform. Now, before I open the floor for any questions, let me just give you a brief idea, because I'm quite sure you're wondering how this system is going to work, right? Now, the system is basically a reporting system which is able to take in complaints. Initially, we will run it with the licensed operators, right? And gradually, our plan is to open it up to the wider industry, including consumers, so that they can also report if they have been the victim of scam, fraud, or any other illegitimate operator, right? But for now, we're going to keep the trials within the industry first. Number 2, it is an AI-powered platform. So when we say AI, we are utilizing the full power of current generation of AI agents, right? And the system is designed to go in short, and to deep dive and to collect evidence and information on a case that has been submitted. Now, what would normally take an individual maybe 20, 30 hours of research work can now be done within a span of 15 minutes or less. Right? And we're hoping that together with the Ministry of Tourism, we'll be able to enhance the process of what they need to do before they go down to ground and start enforcement, right? Now, aside from that, the system is also able to take in much greater amounts of data. So you'll be able to upload full videos, right? Audio files, you'll be able to upload receipts, documents, and images, right? And our AI system will basically be able to identify, catalog, right, and cross-reference all this information against a huge database of cases. Now, I'm not at liberty to say at this point what the ministry is going to be doing together with us, but they have been very supportive. They've asked us to add a number of things to the system, which is a good sign, okay? And we're looking forward to working together with the rest of our counterparts and the government for a safer travel industry in Malaysia. So on that note, Dr. Izzat, do you have anything to add? Okay. Maybe questions, if any?
No, just one question. Okay, in your opinion, good morning. In your opinion, if there's a scam that involves a tour agent or the tour operators, should the directors' personal liabilities be involved? Something that's very similar to professional, say accountants or engineers. Thank you.
There isn't exactly a professional standard for the tourism industry yet, but part of what Matta has been proposing, will continue to propose, is that travel professionals be recognized as a professional. So it's not really the question of whether it should be the directors or not, because travel operations are huge, right? And along that chain, there are so many people who are responsible for different areas of that supply chain. So we would like to see an industry where travel professionals are recognized for what they do and their skills, and in a way also be held accountable to how they personally, run their part of the business, how they handle their customers, and we believe that in the long run, this is going to actually improve the way the travel industry works in Malaysia. So in short, we don't just think it should be the directors, but in the future, travel professionals should take pride in what they do and also be proud that they can be held accountable to what they do as well.
I have a question. Akira from the Star. Hello. Congratulations on Trust. I just want to know if you have started the trials and how so far, how is the outcome that you can share lah. Thank you.
Okay, what we can share, what can I share? Okay, we have started preliminary trials, all right? This is before the ministry will come in, right? And so over the next few months, we will be increasing that amount of trials that we'll be doing together with the ministry. We're actually working together with them to ingest case files. So basically looking at how past or even current scams actually run, so that the AI starts to learn very, very quickly on how to identify patterns. But up to now, we've actually run a very close test. We did some actual field work in the island of Langkawi, and we've actually gone down to ground. We've got professionals to actually go there and do some investigation. We've amassed evidence, and we have actually put this into the system. And at this point, I'm very happy to say that the system works very well. It's been able to actually create summaries, targeted in general, to actually drill down to some of the specific issues that are faced in different cases. So we're looking forward to trialing this on the next phase, which should be a much larger scale as well. Very excited to see what's going to happen.
But how was the feedback? Were there much, people were reluctant because AI and tourism might be like a bit hesitant because it relies on keywords and a bit technicality from that part. So how was it?
Okay, I'll admit that AI is not the easiest thing to understand. Just for qualification's sake, I'm actually a software engineer by training, so I have a little bit more understanding as to how AI works. It's not just about keywords, of course, it's basically about patterns, right? But without going into specifics, what the AI system, not just ours, but many similar systems do, right, is they'll be able to process, organize, and contextualize huge amounts of data in very, very, very short periods of time. So maybe in answer to your question, the feedback from some of our trial participants has been very good because they've been able to see the performance increases and the accuracy of the data that we've pulled out. And like I said, now the challenge on the next phase will be to exponentially increase that amount of data that goes into the system, not only to train the AI, but to see how well that efficiency model is going to run.
Can you sum it up, like how trust can help a travel agent?
Okay. So, on the practical side, with the launch of TravelWatch.ai, all right, which will be made public in the next coming couple of months, okay, that is the practical way we're going to help legitimate industry players. So we've always said that many of the problems that we are facing in the industry today, whether it's because we have tour guides that are not trained very well, whether it's because there are gaps in the regulation, or whether it's because there is a pricing war between agents or operators, all of that stems from the fact that illegal operations have been allowed, not because the government allowed it naturally, it's just because of the advent of technology, how things are going. They have been allowed to flourish and operate with near impunity. And the scale is so big that it's very, very difficult for even the government to come down and say, let's run some enforcement, let's do it effectively. It's tough. right? So the one-way trust is going to benefit the industry is we're hoping that through this collaborative effort and with the power of the system that we employ, we're going to see a significant reduction, all right, in the number of legal operators that are going to be out there. Secondly, by doing this, we're also going to level the playing field. So now tourism operators and stakeholders will be able to put more value back into the packages they offer. So it's all about margins, right? If I'm forced to compete with an illegal operator that does not have the overheads or the capex that needs to be invested, they basically can drop prices to ridiculous levels. But we, as licensed travel operators, with guarantees, with insurance, with a premise, with whatever it is, we can't match and compete with that kind of unfair competition. So number two, by eliminating a significant number of these operators, we're hoping to rationalize, all right, the tourism industry, put ourselves back on the path of value delivery, not just making a buck, all right? And last but not least, part of this program is also to educate the consumer and to rebuild trust in the consumer in what the services of legitimate operators can do or can deliver. So aside from security and safety, all right, we want them to understand that really, there is a lot more benefit to using a legitimate travel operator than going it alone. I'll give you an example. I sometimes plan my own trips. Okay, but to be fair, when I get to the destination, I use a local operator or a guide, alright? And the reason is simply this. The amount of time and energy I spend, unless I'm going really super budget, okay, costs me more than if I were to just go to a travel agent and say, hey guys, this is where I want to go, this is what I want to do, this is my budget, you figure it out. And most of the time, our friends in the industry actually deliver on point. And the best thing is, you don't have to check airline schedules, you don't have to check the weather, you don't have to check visa requirements. These guys will take care of everything for you. So we want to educate people that there is a lot more value in the service that travel operators and travel agents actually deliver.
Thank you so much.
That answers your question. Sorry, very choppy. Any other questions?
Okay, what are the top 2 non-compliant activities in 2025, and also its value?
Top 2
non-compliant.
non-compliant.
Yes.
Okay, we don't have the actual numbers for it yet, but once the system runs, maybe in 6 months you can ask me that question again. But off the top of my head, all right, we have the two top areas that we see in terms of non-compliance, right? In no particular order. Number one would be the illegal transport operators, tourism transport operators. And this is not just people who have gotten buses or vans and decided to run a tour transport service. It also goes across to other areas of transportation, all right, which is not gazetted, all right, or does not fall under tourism vehicle operations. For example, as in the past, the media has also reported school buses or bus express that has been used to ferry tourists, for example, and they don't comply with many of the safety requirements that tourism bus operators are required to comply with. For example, GPS systems in buses, tracking the number of hours a driver is allowed to be at the wheel, having tour guides on board the buses as well. So they don't need to comply with a lot of this, and hence, while they may operate a different service, operating as a tourism vehicle is technically illegal, right? The other area where we also have problems are individuals or organizations who sell tourism and travel services, and you can see them all over the place today, right? In Langkawi, where we recently did our investigations, we even had small pop-up stalls, all right, with very fancy names, Travel the World, Sindran Berhad, whatever it is. And you know what? They had a Matta logo there, but they're not Matta members, right? And so these kinds of operators are taking advantage of the gaps that are not there, all right, to freely sell packages and tourism services. And so this is what the top 2 areas that we're looking to tackle as soon as possible.
Just to add a little bit for you guys to more understand about the system. as we know that Tourism Malaysia have their own system as well for complaint. We call it CISPA. We are not replacing or we are not here to compete with that system. Actually, the trust is to help to make industry more easier. Because the different way to do a report. I give you an example. The traditional way to do a report, you have to type a lot of thing, a lot of story for you to do a report. But for the trust, I give a very simple example. If you see one travel agency, you see the billboard, they put ABC Travel, you just snap a picture, you post on the trust system, and you ask the trust system to summarize. They will summarize, okay, this entity, ABC Travel, they don't have a license, they fall under the section 5, the 1992 Tourism Act. It will give you that immediately. Then you don't need to wait, okay, you don't need to ask the MOTEC first, you don't need to check with the Tourism Malaysia, is it this travel agency is legit or not. It's very fast forward. That's good for the industry and that's good also for the traveler because they will know that they're not being cheating because this is all this licensed travel agency. It's very straightforward answer. It's a different with the CISPA system. You need to put a report and then you wait for the government to reply you and then to tell you okay this is not licensed and everything. I mean that's a simple example for you to understand the traditional way of doing a report and the AI that help you to doing a report. It's very fast forward. You just take one pictures, put it there. Let the system trust to give you a summarize. They will give you everything. That's all. Thank you.
So in short, we are complementing the government's efforts.
Yeah.